Hello everyone and welcome back to week 15 of the Cartoon Football League. We are going to learn a lot about the playoffs here after this week, but we got a great one to kick things off. 8-5 Hey Arnold trying to clinch their division, taking on 7-6 Family Guy desperate for a win to stay in playoff contention. Alright, it's a 10-3 ball game. Family Guy trying to make a comeback with 3 timeouts. Clock is ticking, 35 seconds to go. Peter finds Stewie. And it's going to be just short of a first down, I assume. Yeah, they'll take a timeout. 30 seconds to go. Peter in shotgun on second and one wide open. It's Brandon Marshall. And he is taken down at the 37, but staying alive is Family Guy. 1 conversion out of 7. Peter sends a man in motion. 10 seconds on the clock. 8. Stewie gets the completion and the first down, but that's not going to do much. Kick off week 15. 1st and 10. Peter scans the field. He throws corner. It is incomplete. Almost caught. Hey Arnold holds on, and they'll be watching to see if the Rugrats lose this week. That would clinch them the division. Alright, our next matchup, we got 5-8 Foster's Home taking on 6-7 Chowder. Chowder's still in it by a little bit, but they pretty much need to win out, so we'll see what happens in this game. Alright, all Chowder can do is watch as Foster's Home is in field goal range. 20 seconds to go, and things do not look good for Chowder. Here comes Cheese, 2 seconds on the clock. Kick is perfect, and Chowder is likely knocked out of the playoffs. Big win from a division rival. You love nothing more than to knock your division foe out, so a nice win from Foster's Home. Alright, next matchup, Beavis and Butthead, who've been on a bit of a heater lately, taking on their division foe, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. We'll see if Beavis and Butthead can continue their winning streak. Alright, Beavis and Butthead continue to impress. I mean, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force haven't lost in a long time, but they pull off the upset 17-14. And I really hope they make the playoffs because they'd be a fun team to watch. Alright, next matchup, we got the 4-9 Smiling Friends taking on 6-7 King of the Hill. Desperate now to stay in the playoffs. Okay, so pretty crazy rare development here. Smiling Friends had the ball, they were just running the clock, and it was 3rd down, and they actually fumbled in their own territory. So King of the Hill takes over at the Smiling Friends 33 with 34 seconds to go, and we know how good Hank Hill can be in these situations, so let's see if they can punch in and get the win here. Desperately need it. Hank throws deep into coverage. It is incomplete. Tried to hit Calvin Johnson over the middle. Maybe they can have a resurgence if they get a touchdown on this play. This is it. 4th and 6, 29-yard line. Gotta get it in here. Hank throws deep into coverage, incomplete. Smiling Friends with the upset. They win it 14-10. Alright, next up we got the Fairly Odd Parents trying to catch up to Jimmy Neutron. Gonna be tough versus the 6-7 Airbenders. Kind of surprising they made it to 6-7. They were terrible at the beginning of the year, so if they could get back to 500, that would be really impressive. Anyway, let's see what happens in this one. Alright, so as you can see here, an interesting score. The Fairly Odd Parents down 16-8, so still a one-position game, as Vicky with a big run after the catch, gonna get up to the 36. Timmy on 3rd and 10, he snaps it, he looks, scans, has good protection, throws into a lot of coverage, it's incomplete. And we'll see if they punt it away here. They are going to punt it. I hate the play call, but got to do what you got to do, I guess. As Leckler punts it, and the Fairly Odd Parents try to get one more stop. Ooh, nice juke by Katara. She's taken down at the 25. 2nd and 3 for the Airbenders. Sends Uncle Iroh in motion. It's Appa. It's a first down. It's a touchdown. What a run by Appa. This game is over. Huge win for the Airbenders, terrible loss for the Fairly Odd Parents, but a great game to watch, and what a run by Appa to end it. Right, next up we got the Ninja Turtles taking on the Flintstones. I didn't mention this at the beginning of the episode, but I think from here on out to the end of the season, when we have 2 teams like this that have bad records, that have no chance at the playoffs, we're not going to really show highlights because their season's over. We're just going to hop into the game, see what the final score is, and go from there. So, yeah, if one team is bad and one team is good, like if a 10-3 team is playing the 3-10 team, of course we'll watch that one, but I don't see the point of going through all the highlights for 2 5-8 teams that don't have a shot at the playoffs. Alright, so a close game in this one, but Fred pulls off the comeback. They beat the Ninja Turtles 21-17. Alright, next matchup. Good one here. Looney Tunes at 8-5, coming up a loss against Jimmy Neutron, taking on 6-7 Scooby-Doo, who have won a couple games in a row. Alright, Scooby-Doo trying to pull off an upset here against their division rival. It's 10-7, 51 seconds to go. They do have 3 timeouts, so plenty of time to work with. Scooby-Doo had Velma wide open. Not sure why he didn't throw to her, but a nice juke. And he's going to be 2 yards short of the first down. They'll take their first timeout. Scooby-Doo with a huge third down here, trying to convert. He has Scrappy-Doo open. That picks up the first down, and the clock will continue to tick. Here comes Scooby on 3rd and 12 from the 39-yard line. It's going to be a pass, and wide open is Velma, and Velma, can she get in? She's close. Oh, down at the 1. What a throw and catch from Scooby to Velma, but 1 timeout from the 1-yard line. What are they going to do now? Wanted to. It looks like it might be Scooby. Hands it off to Scrappy-Doo for the touchdown. That might get them the win. Probably the best game of the week so far. Very, very exciting. And who's going to pick it up? It's Richardson, the fullback. He gets up to the 31. This will likely be the final play of the game. Let's see what the Looney Tunes can do. What does Bugs Bunny have in him? Trying to maintain that division lead from the 32-yard line. Bugs snaps it. He gets the throw off deep. There are 3 receivers down there, and it is incomplete. Good defense. Scooby-Doo gonna hold on to win 14-10. What a game. All right, next matchup, we got Bob's Burgers coming off a tough loss against Jimmy Neutron, who look like one of the best teams in the league right now. Big game for both teams. Let's see what happens. Trying to pull off a statement win here. Gonna be a very long field goal from the 40-yard line. It is up. What a kick by Teddy there. After a negative 1-yard drive, they kick through the 57-yard field goal. That was impressive. Must be windy here at Jimmy Neutron's field. Wind not in their favor on this side, as you just saw. Bob's Burgers was on the favorable side, but wide open is Cindy Vortex. Good throw and catch. Gain of 27 to kick this drive off. And Jimmy Neutron just showed you on that throw why he's one of the best QBs in the league. They rush up to the line as the clock continues to tick. Jimmy in shotgun alone, looking for an open receiver. Is that Cindy again down there? It's incomplete regardless. Jimmy comes out on 2nd and 10. Still plenty of time to play with in this ball game. He drops back, looking for an open man. Has a man wide open. It's Ocho Cinco. Will he get in? He will, and Jimmy Neutron easily pulls off the comeback. A heartbreaker for Bob's Burgers, who needed a win here. Their game isn't over. They have 2 timeouts. They have 29 seconds to work with, but they need a touchdown now and not just a field goal, so it will be a tough game to win. Bob, he was the first quarterback to win a game in the Cartoon Football League this year. That's going to be a pass and completion to Hines Ward. They will take their second timeout. And after a nice completion to Hines Ward, Bob looks around. It's picked off. That's going to end the game. Might even be a pick 6. No, but Jimmy Neutron with a huge win, likely going to win them the Division 2. And Bob's Burgers, unfortunately, likely out of the playoff race. Alright, 7-6, South Park desperately needing a win against a 3-10 Powerpuff Girls. Alright, South Park with a heartbreaking loss, and Powerpuff Girls decided to get good late in the season. They've won their 2nd game in a row, 20-3. What's going to happen to their draft pick? A big one for both teams. Bojack needs to win. A win guarantees a lead in their division. Rugrats far behind Hey Arnold, likely will lose the division if they don't win this game. So Hey Arnold fans watching this one, needing a Rugrats loss, let's see what happened. 23 seconds left in this game. Rugrats desperately trying to cling on to their playoff dream. Tommy Pickles having a good day through the air. It's a pass, it's caught by Dill. That's going to be a first down. They'll take their second timeout. 18 seconds left. What are they doing? They're running the ball. I hate that call. That is terrible, conservative, awful call. And we saw Scooby-Doo do something. Oh, are they going to pass? Oh. What are the Rugrats doing? They're going to... Okay. They line up to spike it. Instead, they take a timeout. Interesting calls. But it looks like this one's going to overtime, assuming this field goal is good. Kick is up. It's perfect. We are going to overtime. So, I didn't think ties were possible in Madden 11, but I guess they are. And so this game ends in a tie, 10-10. Our first tie of the year. Surprised we haven't seen one yet. Next matchup, huge game. Backyardigans win their division with a win here. Meanwhile, Rick and Morty can overtake their division with a win because BoJack Horseman just tied and Rick and Morty would be 9-5. BoJack is 8-5-1. So a huge game here for both teams. Let's see what happens. Rick and Morty continue to dominate. Backyardigans, for the first time I think this year, scored 0 points. Rick and Morty wins it 10-0. And that changes a lot in the league. Phineas and Ferb still alive by just a hair, but Pokemon gonna try and pull off the upset. Let's see if Pokemon, I think they've lost 9 in a row, so let's see if they can break their losing streak. So in the funniest way possible, Pokemon will actually get a win here, but it came with 4 field goals. They win it 12-0 over Phineas and Ferb. All right, 4 games left this week. This is the big one here. Possibly the game of the year. 2 of the best teams in league going head-to-head for the division lead. I believe it will be. So Futurama needs to win this one. Otherwise, I think the Simpsons will be very close to clinching, if not clinching. But let's see what happens here. All right, this game is everything we could have hoped for. It's 14-14. The Simpsons have the ball, trying to put it away. Meanwhile, Futurama clinging on to hopes of the division, trying to get this ball back. And as Homer finds Bart for a first down, Futurama trying to take advantage here, almost picked off by Futurama. Homer snaps it from the 29-yard line. It's picked off by Revis. Huge play by Futurama. And now they're in position to win this game. A rare mistake by the Simpsons. 2nd and 4. It's another run to Bender. This time he will pick up a first down and more. Simpsons will take their second timeout. Actually, Futurama, for some reason, taking the timeouts. Teams are really bad at clock management in this game, I always tend to forget. A goal from the 9 for Futurama. He sends, I think that's Amy Wong in motion. It's Bender again. Will he get in? This time he will. Touchdown, Futurama. Simpsons gonna have a chance with 36 seconds left and a timeout to tie this game, but Futurama's defense looked really good on the previous possession. Got pressure on Homer, forced the interception, as we saw, and that led to the 9-yard Bender touchdown, who may have just overtaken Tyrone's touchdown rushing lead on that touchdown, actually. 10 gotta have it situation. Homer sends Ned Flanders across to the right, and this is it. This is your ball game. Homer looks, he is sacked. Futurama gonna get their biggest win of the season. Right, next matchup, we got the regular show trying to maintain their division lead, taking on SpongeBob. Regular show gonna take care of business here with ease. They improved their division record 14-9, the victory over SpongeBob. Sesame Street taking on Ed, Edd n Eddy. We're just gonna simulate this one because both of these teams are done for the year. So pretty close game here, but Ed, Edd n Eddy pulls it out. They win 17-10 over Sesame Street. Right, last game of week 15, 8-5 Dora trying to catch up to the Backyardigans after their loss, taking on the 5-8 Muppets, really playing for nothing. So we'll see. Right, on Monday Night Football, Dora takes care of business with ease. Big win for them. They take it 17-7. Alright, I just looked at the overall standings and we had a lot of clinching scenarios that happened this week. So, our second playoff team after the Backyardigans, Jimmy Neutron, have clinched their division. They're 10-4. Nobody can catch up to them. They are going to win this division and be a home playoff team. I think the Airbenders and Fairly Odd Parents are still fighting for a playoff spot. The Airbenders, though, to start so poorly and be 7-7 is very impressive. And the Fairly Odd Parents, same thing with them. They didn't start off too hot either. So good job by these two teams, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to make the playoffs. In the AFC South, the Looney Tunes are still up by a game, but Scooby-Doo is right behind them with 3 wins in a row. Will be interesting to see how this one finishes out. Flintstone's not technically out of it yet. If everybody ties at 8-8, I think that's the only way they could have a chance to win this division, but no team's clinching anything here yet. In the AFC East, the regular show gonna be another official home playoff team. Nobody else in this division can catch up to them. So they've won the division, they'll host a playoff game, and I don't think any other team in here can make the playoffs either. Final AFC division, both Futurama and The Simpsons have clinched playoff spots, and Futurama has overtaken The Simpsons in the division. So, yeah, one of them is going to be a wild card, and one of them is going to clinch this division. So we'll keep an eye on this over the next 2 weeks to see who wins this one. Family Guy and South Park at 7-7. I'm trying to think of who the other wildcard spot will be since these teams have such high records. Yeah, so I just checked, and it looks like it's going to be one of these 7-7 teams. Family Guy, South Park, Airbenders, and Fairly Odd Parents all going to have a chance at that final wildcard spot. So the AFC is getting very tight over the last 2 weeks, and we really have no idea who's going to take that final spot. In the NFC, the Backyardigans, obviously we already saw last week that they clinched the playoff spot. Surprised Dora hasn't clinched one yet at 9-5, one of the best records in the NFC. In the NFC South, Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman are both in playoff contention. Neither one is actually clinched yet, but one of these teams is going to win this division regardless. In the NFC East, Aqua Teen Hunger Force also hasn't clinched the division yet. I guess Beavis and Butthead could still catch up to them at 7-7. They've had a couple nice wins, but it's going to be one of those two teams. And then the NFC West, Hey Arnold is the only team that has clinched a division in the NFC, so they're going to host a playoff game. But it looks like the NFC is wide open for every team to get into the playoffs, so these last 2 weeks are going to be huge. We will see in Week 16 if that changes anything up for playoff standings, but obviously this was a huge week for clinchings, and a lot of teams are set in stone for their playoff position. But let's take a look at the stats before we sign off. Alright, so Butthead continues to lead the league in passer rating, but Dora's still ahead in the passing yards, and the passing leader is still Butthead as well. Let's see if the interception leader changed. It is now Bob from Bob's Burgers. Had a hot start to the season and has completely fallen off a cliff, so unfortunate for Bob. Rushing leader is still Tyrone, but Bender catching up to him slowly. He has had a great few weeks over the past couple weeks, and he actually did pass up Tyrone in rushing touchdowns, which is a shock. I don't think anybody thought Tyrone would ever be caught in any of his statistics. Finally, receiving, let's see if Boomhauer still has the Triple Crown going. He's 11 receptions ahead. He is about 80 yards ahead in receiving yards, and just 1 touchdown ahead in the receiving game. So it's a tight race, but it looks like Boomhauer might finish as the Triple Crown receiver. Alright guys, thank you for watching Week 15 of the Cartoon Football League. Just 2 more regular season weeks to play, and then we are done and we are heading to the playoffs. Let me know what kind of format you want to see for the playoffs, and I'll try to make it happen. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.